What would you do if you found yourself in the middle of a prayer you didn't know how to perform? Imagine standing shoulder to shoulder with strangers, trying to mimic their movements, hoping no one notices you're out of place. This is exactly what happened to Dr. Saman Richards, a lecturer at Penn State University, during his visit to the Blue Mosque in Istanbul. But what's even more fascinating is how he brought this experience back to his classroom, creating a moment that left hundreds of students in awe. So, let's dive into this incredible story, a story that bridges cultures, challenges stereotypes, and reveals the beauty of Islamic prayer. Penn State University is known for its diverse student body and innovative teaching methods, but one lecture in particular stood out, a lecture that didn't just talk about Islam, but brought it to life. Dr. Saman Richards, a professor with a passion for cultural exploration, decided to share his personal experience of visiting the Blue Mosque in Istanbul. What started as a simple lecture turned into an unforgettable demonstration of Islamic prayer, witnessed by hundreds of students. This is the story of how one man's curiosity led to a classroom full of students experiencing the beauty of Salah, the Islamic prayer. The Blue Mosque, a moment of awe. Dr. Richards began his lecture by describing his visit to the Blue Mosque, one of Istanbul's most iconic landmarks. "I stayed in a hotel right across from the Blue Mosque," he recalled. "The call to prayer echoed through the air, drawing me outside. It was one of the most beautiful sounds I've ever heard." As he walked through the mosque, he was struck by its grandeur, the intricate designs, the towering domes, and the sense of peace that filled the space left him in awe. But it wasn't just the architecture that captivated him. It was the people, the way they lined up in perfect rows, united in prayer, an unexpected invitation. As Dr. Richards sat in meditation against one of the mosque's pillars, he felt a tap on his shoulder. "I opened my eyes and saw two men gesturing for me to stand up," he said. "I realized they were filling in the rows for prayer, and I was in the way." Without thinking, he stood up and joined the line. "No one knew I wasn't Muslim," he continued. "I just followed their lead, trying to blend in. It was my first time praying in a mosque, and it was an experience I'll never forget." Bringing the experience to the classroom. Inspired by his experience, Dr. Richards decided to recreate the moment for his students. "I wanted them to understand what it feels like to be part of something so profound," he explained. He began by showing photos of the Blue Mosque and explaining the significance of the call to prayer. Then, he invited several Muslim students to demonstrate the movements of Salah. "We'll do the call to prayer," he announced, "and the Muslim men will naturally come to the front, just like they do in the mosque." The room fell silent as the students took their positions, a non-Muslim's perspective. To make the demonstration even more impactful, Dr. Richards invited a non-Muslim student to join in. "I need a Christian or Jewish man," he said, "someone who has no idea how to pray like a Muslim." A brave volunteer stepped forward, ready to play the role of Dr. Richards during his first prayer. "You're going to be me," Dr. Richards told him. "You're in a room full of Muslims, and you have to do what they do without giving yourself away." The student nodded, a mix of excitement and nervousness on his face. The call to prayer. As the call to prayer echoed through the classroom, the Muslim students began their demonstration. "Allahu Akbar," they chanted, raising their hands to their ears. The non-Muslim student followed as best he could, mimicking their movements. He bowed, he prostrated, and he stood up again, trying to keep up with the rhythm. "You killed it," Dr. Richards said with a smile. "The only thing you missed was putting your forehead on the ground instead of your nose." The room erupted in applause, amazed by the students' effort and the beauty of the prayer. The significance of Salah. Dr. Richards used the demonstration to explain the importance of Salah in Islam. "Prayer is one of the 5 pillars of Islam," he said. "It's a way for Muslims to connect with Allah, to seek guidance, and to find peace." He explained that Muslims pray 5 times a day, each prayer consisting of specific movements and recitations. "It's not just a physical act," he added, "it's a spiritual journey." Breaking stereotypes. The demonstration also served as an opportunity to challenge stereotypes about Islam. "Many people think of Islam as a rigid or oppressive religion," Dr. Richards said. "But when you see the beauty of Salah, you realize it's about humility, unity, and devotion." He encouraged his students to look beyond the headlines and explore the rich traditions of Islam for themselves. The power of cultural exchange. Dr. Richards' lecture was more than just a lesson. It was a cultural exchange. By experiencing Salah, even for a few moments, my students gained a deeper understanding of Islam, he said. They saw it not as something foreign or strange, but as something beautiful and meaningful. He hoped that this experience would inspire his students to approach other cultures with curiosity and respect. The role of educators. Dr. Richard's approach to teaching Islam sparked a debate about the role of educators in promoting cultural understanding. Some argued that his demonstration was inappropriate, blurring the line between education and religious practice. But Dr. Richards defended his methods. Education is about more than just facts and figures, he said. It's about opening minds and hearts. If my students leave my class with a greater appreciation for Islam, then I've done my job. The importance of dialogue. The lecture also highlighted the importance of dialogue in addressing misconceptions about Islam. We can't fight ignorance with silence, Dr. Richards said. We have to engage with each other, to ask questions, and to listen. He believed that by fostering open conversations, we can build bridges between cultures and create a more inclusive society. Dr. Salman Richards' lecture was a reminder that education has the power to transform. By bringing the beauty of Islamic prayer into the classroom, he gave his students a glimpse into a world they might never have explored otherwise. Then, slowly, questions began to emerge. Some students were curious about the meaning of the Arabic verses in the Adhan. Others wanted to know more about the significance of the mosque's architecture. Dr. Richards patiently answered each question, drawing on his knowledge of Islamic history and theology. He encouraged his students to share their own perspectives and experiences. A lively discussion ensued, breaking down barriers and building bridges of understanding. Section 7. The Power of Perspective. Dr. Richards realized that day that education was not just about imparting knowledge. It was about broadening perspectives. It was about fostering empathy and understanding across cultures. His accidental prayer at the Blue Mosque had not only been a deeply personal experience, it had also been a powerful reminder of the transformative power of education. He was filled with a renewed sense of purpose. He was determined to continue using his platform to challenge stereotypes and promote interfaith dialogue. Section 8. Education as a Bridge. Dr. Richards' story is a testament to the power of stepping outside one's comfort zone and embracing the unknown. It highlights the importance of cultural exchange and the transformative power of education. When we open ourselves to new experiences, we open our minds to new ways of seeing the world. We begin to understand that our differences, rather than dividing us, actually enrich the tapestry of human experience. Section 9. The Universe in a Grain of Sand. In the grand scheme of the cosmos, our differences may seem small, but it is precisely these differences that make our world so vibrant and full of wonder. Like the intricate patterns on a single grain of sand, each culture holds within it a universe of beauty, wisdom, and tradition. It is up to us to approach these differences with curiosity, respect, and a willingness to learn. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time, keep seeking knowledge and understanding.